What's up, guys? It's Missy. I am back with another SimCity Buildit video. It's New Year's. I'm sure everybody is good and hungover and feeling like shit. I'm not. I didn't go out drinking. I know better. I played that game. Hug the toilet all night, barf your guts up, feel like shit, have a pounding headache, and have to go out and venture the world with all the other assholes. Yeah, no thanks. New Year's Day has got to be, it's probably the worst day of the year ever. It's like the first day you start off the new year feeling like shit, right? Like anybody here who didn't be a dumbass and go drinking last night, that didn't start their New Year's off with a bunch of resolutions they're not going to fulfill, feeling like crap, raise your hand. Yep, I didn't either. I set no goals so I don't have to be disappointed, and I didn't drink, so I'm doing good. All right. Now, let's talk about our lovely SimCity world here, since the outside world of 2020 has been nothing but hell on earth with COVID and the economy and the other 3 billion things that are wrong with the world. We all kind of dipped into the gaming community and we're like, fuck this, we're going to cartoon land. Hence the name Neverland. Okay? So, if you haven't hit that like and subscribe button, hit the sub button. Hit the like button on your way after the sub button, because I am sick and tired of having to stream to Omelet, I'm going to tell you. And we are really close to 1,000 subs. So, yeah. Anybody here who hasn't clicked that sub button, click it. Doesn't cost you shit. All you got to do is click it. Okay? All right. So, yesterday, I made a video talking about this side pass here. Okay? And I had went through and I had told you guys whether it was a good deal, bad deal, what I thought of the buildings, blah, blah, blah. Now, when I saw this building here, you know when you're, honestly, I don't even know the name for it. I've been trying to think of the name for it. But when you look at, you ever watch like a TV show and they have those 3D images that are like blue, outlined blue, that kind of pop up? They did it on Avatar, I think. For the life of me, I cannot think of what it's called. But anyways, when I looked at this building in the pass, that's what it looks like to me from here. Okay? That's not what it looks like on the map. So yesterday I had said that this building looked like shit, and I still say that when it's in this picture. This looks stupid as hell to me. It looks like it's just this little outlined blue boat thing, right? And so it wasn't until I actually placed it, though, that I saw what it actually looks like. And I'm like, oh, okay. It's actually not as bad as I thought it was. So I'm going to place it out so that you guys can, anybody here who hasn't reached it, so you can see, okay? It's got little lights on it, right? I mean, you got to zoom all the way in to get the beauty of it, but it's actually kind of cute. I'm not going to lie. I thought it was something totally different than what it is. So yesterday I wanted to burn this building to the ground, and it was just pointless. But today I'm kind of like, I might put it somewhere now. I just wanted to clarify that. It actually kind of reminds me of the Neverland boat that I put on the front of my videos. You know, the little gold one that's in the thumbnail. So between this here and anybody here who did not buy the snow globe, if you still have the opportunity to do so, it's a really cute snow globe. I've been waiting a long time to get this stupid thing. It'll make for a cute display probably on the Frosty map. I am actually going to be designing quite a bit the next couple of days on stream. So anybody here who is looking for some design tips or help, I'm hopefully going to be able to actually give you guys some better tips and stuff. I've been working on the buildings or designs that we kind of left off with a little here and there, but because of these new buildings for the new year pass, I have been kind of pushing towards going back over to the Frosty map and finishing up designing over there. Now, I wanted to kind of touch base on that because this building here and then this one, okay, this is also a kind of a Christmassy style. Then you've got, let me go to a map where I have a little bit more space here. I'm going to show you guys what I did on the second sunny map that we were working on the other day. Okay, so the other day we were working on this, and I didn't know what to put in this area here. Now, I still don't know exactly what's going to stay here, but right now it's got the romantic holiday plaza. Now, the thing I don't like about this is it's kind of both Valentine's Day and Christmas Eve, because it's got the heart, but then it's also got the Christmas tree, you know? And so it's hard to place it. I almost want to leave it here because it's kind of fits the theme, but on the other hand, it also fits the Christmas theme as well. And so if something else pops up that would look better here, I'm going to rotate it over to the Frosty map. Now, as far as the other buildings that were here, I had mayor's buildings that kind of looked like apartments, and they just didn't, I don't know, they didn't look good. So I took them out and I put in the Easter stuff here for now, and made it more of like a happy place. Okay, so over here, we had done this area, and I'm not done here. I don't know what I want to do to kind of liven this up, but I want to do something. Now, on stream, we started a pink tree park that I was kind of working on. Okay, so I finished it for now. Okay, when I say that something's done, it's never done. Okay, in my mind, it's never done, because with me, I try to find the purpose in the game, right? And what you want to do. And the way I see it is this. The game should be about whatever you want it to be about. Whatever you enjoy about the game is what you should do. If you really enjoy war and that's what you like for this game, I would highly recommend looking into another war game. Because if you're a competitive person when it comes to war, there's got to be something out there that's better than hitting somebody with a fucking plunger. Okay? Especially with all the 3D bullshit we got going on in 4K and all this stuff. You're telling me that you couldn't find a better war game than SimCity Buildit? Yeah, no. But anyways, I digress. Anyways, so thinking about that, if you really like the SimCity Buildit war, yeah, fine, great. By all means, if that's what you're doing that you enjoy doing, then do that to the best of your potential and do it as most efficiently as possible. That is kind of what I do with the advice that I give. I take the purpose of whatever it is I'm looking at, and I say, okay, that's what you want. Let's find the best efficient possible way to achieve said goal, right? So if your goal is that you really just want a high pop city and that's what's important to you, then find a way to do it to be the most efficient as possible. I have all the advice you need, you know, if that's what you want. If you want a high pop city, I have the answers for that. If you want to be an avid war player and that's it, I've got the answers for that too. But I don't care for a high pop city, and I don't care for war because I don't get enjoyment out of just seeing a high number on my screen. It means nothing to me. It's just a number sitting at the top of my screen. I give a shit if my Sims are burning and jumping out of their building, or if they're living it up, 3 million people congested in a skyscraper city. All I care about is what I see on my screen and how good it looks. I know, I'm kind of mean like that, huh? But for the most part, they get their fire coverage. They might have to jump out of a burning building and run across the street to the neighbor's house, but you know what? They'll be back. So, okay. That being said, the reason that I say designing is never truly done is because the way that a lot of the things that I see people do is they do something, they change their city around, and then they're like, okay, I like that. And that's the way it is. What, forever? You're telling me you're never going to change your city ever again? No, that's not how it works. As the game goes on, you're going to unlock new features. You're going to unlock new buildings. You're going to unlock new trees and parks and things like that. And things are going to get rotated and shifted around. And one day you may wake up and something that you thought looked cool, or at least that's what I do, it looks like shit. And I'm like, you know what? I got a better idea for this. And usually what I do is I take screenshots of my city previous to my tearing it apart. Now, usually I get pretty stressed out when my city's torn apart. I don't like my city to be a complete mess, okay? I'd like it to be intact. And that is why I try to work on it in sections, especially my capital. But usually what I try to do is I just kind of look and brainstorm and I envision what it looks like without actually tearing it apart. I say, okay, I can knock out these two buildings, run water this way. How would it look if I kind of did this that way? And then usually what happens is new buildings come up and I start brainstorming and I'm like, could I do something really cool on my capital? I always look at my capital first. My capital has always been most important to me. So even though a building on my capital may look better or may look good on another map, if it looks better on my capital, I'm leaving it on my capital. Capital to me is number one. Now, unfortunately, a lot of people don't have a lot of options for cool buildings right now. So anything that you do find even remotely in the slightest decent, you should do what you need to do to earn that. This side pass, in my opinion, is the best buildings they've put out in the last few months. And that's pretty sad because they're nothing spectacular, okay? They're not bad at all, but they're not to die for, they're not like, oh my God, did you see that really cool building that they put out? No, it's like, oh, hey, look, we're getting back into the groove of this is kind of cool, This thing here, I think we've had before, if I remember right. I may even have it actually. Now, this, again, I think we had this at one point. I could be wrong. I don't remember. I know that the snow globe's been around because Chronic's had it, and I've talked about it 3 million times. But this tower here almost reminds me of the tower from the movie Tangled. What I can see of it, I might need a micro. Did I just say microphone? A magnifying glass. I need a microphone. What the fuck? A magnifying glass to zoom in and see it. But that's kind of why I thought this one looked like shit, though. Because that doesn't look like, they didn't show that it was Christmas lights. They just showed an outline blue boat. You know what I mean? So it looked retarded in the picture. But then you put it, even here, it looks stupid. Then you place it out and it looks way different. So I'm going to place out a few of these, but I wanted to show you guys the progress that I made on this side of the sunny map. So now that it's nighttime, I'm going to scroll back over here. Okay, let's find we'll come back and I'll show you the display because we can't see it in the dark. So I'm going to show you guys what some of these buildings look like once you place them out. Oh, what I got going. I totally forgot about the contest. I've been kind of in Lalaland doing whatever. Okay, I'm just earning the pink plum bob points, so I don't care what I do. Okay, so let's put these buildings down here. This is the map I've got the most room on. I've almost got this map unlocked. I need to get with the program. I've been really slacking. Okay. So as far as the Christmas stuff goes, I'm thinking about redoing. We had done a display on stream with the Frosty map, and I'm thinking about, redoing that because of all of the new stuff that's been brought out. I think I could do a much better display now. In fact, I know I could. And so all that work that we did, I'm going to redo. And I'm going to do it on stream. So if anybody wants to tune in for that, I'm not exactly sure when it's going to be, but it's usually right around between 5 a.m. my time and 10 a.m. my time. And I'm from Washington State. So that's usually when I stream. All right. So we've got all these buildings that you guys are pretty familiar with here. And let's see, where did they hide these? Can't remember. Parks. Okay. So we've got this one, which you guys, anybody who didn't buy it, I'm going to show you guys what they look like here on your screen so you get a better idea. This is that new thing. I liked it at first because, the firework, but it just spins for too long. Okay. we've got this thing here. I'll try to put it out like that. You can see why I thought it looked stupid, right? I'm like, oh boy. But then you do this, it actually looks kind of cool. You know, I didn't realize it had Christmas lights. So yes, that is cool. It'll look nice on the frosty map with the snow. Shaking the snow globe. Let's shake, shake, shake. Okay. Sit down. Criminy. Now, where... I don't know if I placed it out or what did I do here. Oh, this here. This is what I was going to show you. This thing isn't terrible. It's not the best, but it's not terrible. It's going to go on my frosty map somewhere. So this, and this are all going to go on the frosty map with some kind of a display. And then also, I don't know where I put it, but there's that holiday shop. That big holiday shop that we just earned. We've also got this is also going to go on my my frosty map here. Same with probably the Hot Springs Resort. Would look good over there. And this park here, I bought a couple of these when they came out. I thought it was pretty cool. I don't like the way that it has to be placed, but it's a Yeti park, and you can see him up there walking around in his cave, just kind of walking back and forth. I hate how much you have to zoom in to get the little details of the game. You know, I play on a phone, so it's kind of a pain in the butt sometimes, but I imagine, like, whenever I did load my city on a tablet, it's definitely a lot more detailed on a tablet. Like, right now, I can barely see what's inside that snow globe. It almost looks like Santa's laying on the ground dead or something. What the hell? I don't know what that is. Maybe the reindeer killed Santa. Bastards. Okay. So I'm going to put these in storage, and then let's go back over and see if it's daytime on the sunny map. Okay. I haven't earned the last building yet. Once I do, I'll place it out and see what it looks like. Okay. So this is what I did here. Now, unfortunately, there's no easy way to hide the roads with the pink parks. I went ahead and put the SimCity Buildit sign in the back because that thing is such a nightmare to place. It's got to be placed on with the road on the right side for it to be seen in this direction. Then I put 2 Plum Bob Parks kind of accenting each corner, and I used up the this thing here, the red parks. I don't know if I like this here, honestly. It just doesn't look... I think I could put something that looks better there, you know, something a little more flashy. Yeah, I don't know what, but I think I could put something better. In fact, let's see. I don't want to put... I mean, that's not terrible, but that's not ideal either. No. These were actually kind of cool when they came out. They spit water or whatever. Let's see. I mean, that's kind of cute, you know, the dome and all the garden stuff, but I feel like something better should be there, you know, something that really stands out, like a centerpiece. I don't know what exactly. I hate how you can't turn all the buildings a specific direction. Let's see what we got for this. Anything that stands out. Nope. Nothing so far. I'll have to think about this one. You know, I could put like the Ferris wheel as a centerpiece, but no. I don't think that would look good. This would look kind of cute. Maybe. I'd have to knock out some of those trees, which would be okay. I like this little tea house hotspot, but then again, it's been the only one I haven't been able to buy forever, so that might be partially why. I don't know. I'm going to have to think on this one, on what I should put there. I don't know. So what I did here was I kind of hid the bears back there, but yes, hi, you little bear. All right. I did the sheep on each side here, and I tried to kind of, I didn't know if I should just do trees all the way over here, but I decided to do some water up front. And then kind of, I wasn't really honestly sure what I wanted to do up in this area, but I wanted to try to liven it up over here. Like, there's houses here, but I feel like I should put something other than houses over here. So I've also got this I wanted to move. As you can see, most of my residents are on this side. Part of the problem, too, is that I wanted to do my absolute best on this section of the map because it's the largest. So I haven't wanted to put, like, all my really good stuff out, you know? Now it's a matter, okay, I need to fill in that area back there. I'll deal with this on stream later today. There's an epic project I need to make room for. I don't think I have any other epics laying around over here. Okay, let's grab this one. All right, so I'm going to go and look and see where, I think I put that holiday building on my capital here. Or my Frosty map, I mean. Okay. Yeah, I did. So this is the Holiday Deluxe Shopping Center that we got. You know, I like it. It's a nice centerpiece. I put it here, and then I decided that this kind of doesn't... I like how it looks with the snow on it, you know? But it just doesn't match everything around it right now. I also really like how these look in the snow. They look really cool. So I think what I might do when we redo this later is take this out and then take this waterfront that we did here and maybe eliminate the right side over here and do a nice display in this area. And try to, I got the Holiday Hotel, and then we've got the snow globe, we've got this thing here. We got quite a few things that we can do a nice display out of. So I think I'm going to try that. And then on, this is the area that we were working on. We had just started this corner. I hadn't got very far with it at all. And then I also have, you know, this side that, I don't know if I want to work on this side first or this side. So definitely going to do this area. I want to get this part of the map done before I do anything over here. So we were finalized over here for a while. Now we're not. Now we got to move back over. But let me get, I've been planning to do the timed epic. And so I'm in the process of stocking up on regionals and doing epic prep. That's kind of my next move here. So that's why I've got such full inventory right now. It's been pretty chaotic, really. I need to dispose of, I've got 14 wheels, which is just what I need 14 of each to unlock my second to last, I believe is what it is, land expansion on my map over there, and then I'll be all cut up and done. Okay, so let's see. Anybody who is wanting into our group, okay, we are at war right now. You have to get in when we're not at war. And the next thing that I wanted to kind of talk about here, and I'm going to do that probably a little more on a different video, but everybody is required to watch the group rules video. Everybody has to adhere to all the same rules. Everybody should have watched the group rules video, and everybody would have been told me, yes, I did watch it. So when I spend 25 minutes to 40 minutes explaining the rules, which are pretty simple rules, honestly, it's pretty common sense stuff already, you know, just be respectful. We've had some issues with a couple of new members that have joined in. One of the guys was in my group, I don't know, for the last couple of weeks, and everything's been fine. But I also haven't had the community depot open for the last couple of weeks. And so anybody here who watches my channel, you guys have probably heard me discuss a community depot. That might be something that you may be interested in doing in your club if you're a very active group. See, my channel and my videos are meant to help you, right? I want to see people succeed and get somewhere in the game rather than be stuck and struggling just to keep their head above water. And that's where 99.9% of people are at. They're at that point in the game where they're struggling with coins. They're struggling with the contests. They can't seem to manage their storage. They can't get epics done. I mean, it's constant chaos, right? They've got services everywhere. Their cities look terrible. They don't have any resources to really buy or design anything. They're broke all the time. Their inventory's always full, which that's something you're going to have to deal with quite a bit. You can't find rares. When you do, you have so many of, you know, the wrong ones. You can never seem to manage them in the right order in order to upgrade, which the game does that. And you're constantly struggling in every aspect. And so what I did was I was like, you know, I'm sick of seeing people struggle when there's got to be a way to master this, right? And so I started brainstorming on my own because I screwed up big time, you guys. I'm not kidding you. I was one of the people that did the rebuilding, okay? I built up, bulldozed. And it wasn't like I built up a whole house and bulldozed. I built up like 1 or 2 upgrades, right? So that you would get the least amount of experience and the most amount of coin for the least amount of product. And it was a really good idea. Until I realized, wait a minute here. The more you level up, the less you can accomplish later. And that's kind of where a lot of people aren't making that connection. So many people are under the impression that the only thing that you hurt yourself doing by leveling up is fuck up your algorithm. That is not true, okay? If you told me right now that I could have a city with max storage, but be level 43, or have a city that's level 24 with half storage or even a quarter storage, I would pick the level 24 city all day long. Why? Because that one has better possibilities. That one has better potential. That one is going to be the one that hasn't been completely royally screwed up yet. But now you got to ask yourself, well, why would she do that if storage is maxed out? Because it's not all about the storage. That's where people don't understand. You are saying when you go up past a certain threshold in the game, you go into this zone where shit is really hard, okay? So when you want to plan for your epic project, when you want to prep for it, how many people here are level 24 and have about 300 storage and prep for an epic and find it difficult? Okay, now, how many people here have 600 storage, are level 24, and are finding it manageable. Now, how many people here watching are level 50 something, 40 something, whatever, and have like 200 storage and you're just having a bitch of a time? Right? So you have to ask yourself, what makes an epic project difficult? The amount of items you have unlocked, right? So you have to take the amount of space you have. So I have 825 space, right? That's with all 5 regional maps unlocked and utilizing all of the extra storage that they give for each regional. That's where 100 of it came from. Then I've got the temp storage. Then I've got max storage of 700. So I've got 25 temp, okay? And I've got 100 from regionals and then the 700 that the game allows you to have. Out of that 825, okay? Look at how many have to be taken. Look how many are taken up by war items alone. Then you've got regional items. Okay, each epic for the regionals that you want, that you have unlocked, you ideally, these are going to be the hardest thing that hold you back in an epic or regional items. They are very rarely sold on the global market. They take a long time to produce. Not many people want to get rid of them. And when they do get rid of them, if they're playing intelligently, they're selling them for regional coins, not for regular coins. Okay? So ideally, I need to have about 25 of each of the medium regionals and 25 of each of the large regionals, right? That doesn't include the small or the factory regionals. And then all the regular items, plus VU, storage, dozer, okay, airport, whatever. Look at all the different items you have that are regular. Now try to stock up on what you think is the right amount. It's not that much space. If you're having trouble as a level 24 player with 500 storage, how in the hell are you going to not have trouble unlocking 5 times the amount of items? I mean, come on. You realize for me, I hit gold with every single item in the game unlocked. There's not one item in the game I did not have unlocked at that time. And I was able to hit gold in 14 minutes. So how is it that people are struggling when they have 400, 500 storage and they're level 24? Because they're not prepping and they're not buying enough pointers. Okay? Epic pointers and prep. Now, essentially what makes an epic project difficult is cost and pointers. Okay? Now, it doesn't really matter which way you want to look at the cost. So when people say, how many coins do I need before I start an epic, that is entirely based on, do you have a well-prepped storage or not? So, for example, let's say that I have 2 players that are level 24, and they both have 20 epic pointers that are worth 3 points each. So they have 20 buildings worth 3 points each. Both of them are level 24, but one of them has 200 storage, and the other one has 600 storage. The epic is going to be roughly the same amount. Okay, it's not going to cost one person more than another. But the person with 200 storage is going to need a hell of a lot more coins than the person with 600 storage. Why? Because they can't hold as much items. So you got to look at it like that. If you start your epic with 30,000 coins, but you have $200,000 worth of items in your inventory that you're able to donate, and you've prepped very well, then it's highly probable that you may not even need to dip into that 30,000 at all, right? But if you have 30,000 coins and only 200 items to be held, and half of them are rares, war items, and factory items, then you're probably holding like 20 to 30 grand worth of stuff, right? So ideally, you need more coins. That's all that's happening. So people always calculate epic cost by what they had when they started and what they ended with. But they don't. That's not how you calculate it. You're calculating what coins you had when you started and what coins you had when you ended. That's not the cost. The cost is what you had and what you don't have. Okay? What you had was all these items that you now do not have. Okay? So to get the true cost of an epic, you need to take the cost it took to start it and add up every single item that you donated to it. Now, what me and CPT, did was we recorded a level 24 player, him, doing epic projects with 3-pointers. Okay? Only 3-pointers. And that we added up every single item that he donated. Because it really doesn't matter if he started with 50,000 coins and ended with 80,000 coins. That doesn't tell me anything. He certainly didn't gain 30 grand by doing an epic. What if he just sold stuff? What if he collected taxes? What if he bought 5 burgers on Global but only had to use 2 of them and he still has 3 sitting in his inventory? That's not a cost. You see what I'm saying? So we added up all the stuff that he had to put into his epics, and they averaged between 142 and about 160 grand in product every time. Okay? So that's for a level 24 player with 3-pointers. That cost is actually going to go down if you were to buy a 4-pointer buildings. And the people don't understand how much easier it is every time you add a point to that epic pointer. So if you have 2s and 1s out, your epics are going to cost double or triple than if you were to have 3s or 4s out. It makes that big of a difference. When I tell people to put 1s and 2s in storage, I mean you really need to put them in. They're costing you more by being out there. Okay? But when you donate to a building, it starts off slow and then it rises. So let's say it's the last 10 points of your epic. Is it advisable to donate 5 bread rolls to a 3-pointer? Probably not. What might be a good idea now would be to pull out some 1s and 2s since you only have 10 points left and see if you can get those last 10 points for cheap, unless you're trying to beat a specific time, right? And in that case, you would just go as quickly as you could. Now, epic prep becomes kind of addicting for people because first you start off, your first epic is miserable, okay? And you're like, oh my God, that was pure hell. It was asking me for all kinds of stuff I didn't have. And people are usually sitting there with no inventory, very few coins. They are having a really difficult time filling the requests that it's asking for. And they only have a few buildings asking for stuff in the first place. Now, if you're struggling and you haven't even hit silver, you need to seriously pump the brakes and go watch every one of my epic videos before you proceed on anymore. Because if you are struggling to hit silver, you need to remember that the cost of your epic and the difficulty of the items is going to double or even triple once you pass silver. So if you're struggling to hit silver, it's a pretty good idea to not continue on until you know what you're doing. Okay? Now, if you're in that situation, you have 24 hours to complete it. Ideally, what people do is they sell off all their rares, they go broke, they bulldoze roads, they beg group members for help, and they struggle and they claw their way to the top. That is not necessary. Okay? What you should do is say, how can I make this easier? Not how can I find a way to claw myself to the top, but how can I make this easier? And what you should do, and I'm serious when I say this, a lot of people will have a ton of keys and not even use them in a situation like this. What is your most valuable asset for an epic project? Is it coin? No. It's actually keys in this instance, because all you have to do is go to your menu, pick whatever category your epic is in, Okay, let's say you did one for transportation, and you go right here, and you start placing down 3-pointers and buying 3-pointers or 4-pointers during your epic. That way you have a wider variety of requests so that you can hit those requests easier. If you are hurting for coin, what do you do about that? Do you sell off all of your rares? No, that would be foolish. Okay? Even if you added up all the rares that you have, it's not going to be enough to finish your epic, and now you're just out a bunch of rares. What would be the ideal thing to do? Would be to take your happy ass, because I know you're level 24 if you're doing an epic, and go over to your shops and start running tokens on profitable items like nails, flour, donuts, TVs, caps, chairs, hammers, things like that. Just the donut shop and the barn are going to yield $30,400 for a level 18 player. Okay? $18,000 for caps a day. That's without tokens. So you have 24 hours to complete this epic. Do you want to waste a house on a silver or a bronze? And this depends on what level you are. If you're level 43, then it really doesn't matter. You can do whatever epic you want to do. But essentially, gold is the way to go. And there's no reason to not go for gold. If you're not going for gold simply because it's too hard, then you need to evaluate how you're doing your epics. Now, what ends up happening is people say, okay, that was a miserable experience, and they don't want to go through it again, right? Then they start watching my videos, and they're like, okay, maybe I'll give it another try. Then they do it, and they're like, oh, damn, maybe they completed this one in an hour or 2 hours. And they're like, oh, well, there was that one item I didn't have. So they stock up on that one item. It's always like that. It's always going to find the one thing you have. The best thing you can do is prep, okay? Make sure that you go through the whole list of items that you have unlocked and prep. Get a nice rounded number, like right around 20 of each, of the more difficult items to find. Drills, paint, ladders, bricks are not hard to find usually. So the not hard to find stuff, depending on your inventory and level, you might want to hold 10 of. If you've got 600 space, okay, and you're level 24, you should be able to do an epic in like 5 minutes, dude. Like, no joke. If I'm doing them in 14 and I have every item unlocked, there's no reason. There's no reason why you guys should not be able to do these epics like the speed of light, okay? So if you're having trouble, you either do not have enough pointers or you do not prep well enough. So the cost of the epic really is the same whether you have 600 storage and 30,000 coins or 30,000 coins and 200 storage, right? It still costs the same, but if you have somebody, let's say you have a level 24 player, and they both have the same amount of storage, but one person has all 2s and 1s, and the other person has 3s and 4s. They're going to have an easier time, and they're going to spend a hell of a lot less than the person who has 2s and 1s. You're not going to spend 150 grand on an epic doing 2s and 1s. It's going to be more like almost 300 grand or more, depending on how many 1s and 2s we're talking about here. Okay, so the epic pointers are essential. I see so many people like, oh, I've got 5 3-pointers. I think I'll try. It's like you can hit gold with that. You can hit gold with a 1-pointer, but it's not ideal. It's not a good idea. I mean, it's going to take forever and it's going to cost 10 times the amount. So why? Why not just do it right? So that right there is one of the many reasons that it's a good idea to remain a lower level. It's not just about the storage. It's about the opportunities that you're giving up. Okay, the contest to mayors is another really big one, okay? So the other day I was on stream, and somebody had made a comment about how keys aren't important, okay? I just about fell off my chair. I'm just like, what do you mean keys aren't important? I never use keys. Okay, what? I'm just trying to wrap my head around this. So if you want a high pop city, you need keys to buy buildings to boost pop, do you not? Okay, so there's that. If you are an avid war player, if that's the type of player you are, if that's what you play for is to play war, then you need keys to upgrade war cards, do you not? Okay, so if you're a designer, if you play the game for designing and making a beautiful city, do you need keys for water and buildings and making things look pretty? Yeah. So explain to me again how keys are useless. I've got to hear this. I'm trying to wrap my head around it. What do they not... How are they useless? You know what I mean? Like, what? How does that even make sense? None of that made any sense to me. So, now, taking that into consideration, what do you play the game for? If you don't play war, if you don't want a high pop city, and you don't care what your city looks like, what do you play for? What other reasons are there to play for? You know, you got to have a goal. You got to have something you enjoy about the game. I enjoy being efficient, building a beautiful city, and helping people to master the game. I do war here and there for the purpose of the contest. And I had to focus on boosting my pop to unlock all of the regional maps. So I'm kind of utilizing all aspects of the game. Aside from Omega, which even then, I still have to, I still do what I need to do Omega-wise to get the benefits of what that has to offer, right? So everybody here who wants to have all the regionals unlocked is going to have to focus on pop at some point, right? In order to unlock that last map. Now, everybody here who wants to be successful at the contest of mayors is going to have to focus on war at some point. Now, somebody asked me, well, why do you care about the contest so much? Wow. Because for low-level players, it is a huge asset. Oh my God. I'm going to talk about that in another video on just how important it is for low-level players to participate in the contest. Because it is very, very important that people understand why they're playing the contest of mayors at their level and why it's so important and why leveling up past a certain point hurts you to the point of like, okay, this is why you need to restart. It's not just for the algorithm. Okay. It's for everything. And we're going to talk about that in my next video. So if you want to know why it's so important, then I guess you have to tune in for the next video.